Thanks for calling. And let's face it, you've got friends on Facebook. And I'll tell you what, I kind of wanted to talk today about some of the things that everybody seems to be experiencing in their lives along with this pandemic. Today, Marisa Sergi. Now, Marisa, I have had so many people, even before I was posting the fact that I wanted to put wineries on the air with us, they mentioned you. So you're doing something right. So welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you. And we were talking, off camera. In fact, Justin was really giving some good questions.
Nice warm-up.
Yeah.
Nice warm-up, Justin. But anyhow, you're talking about the L'uva Bella and some of the upgrades that you guys are making. And, you're a young girl, and I congratulate you on the success that you have had so far. It's been amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think it's really because I've had a lot of positive mentors from not only Youngstown, but just from all over the country that really took an interest in what I wanted to do. And I'm very grateful for that because without having so many people wanting to uplift me and help me go on the right path, I've been able to really focus and not only grow the brands that I started, but provide more opportunity for people in the Youngstown area. So it's been really great, and it's something that I'll never forget.
That is amazing. And you're in Walmart right now. Now, I understand you're in Giant Eagle as well?
Yes.
And where else can they find you?
Yeah, Sparkle Markets, Larry's Drive-Thru, TikTok, Acme, Meyer, pretty much all of the retailers across the area. Even Peaberry's in Canfield has Redhead Red Blend. So you can find our wines in
all
nearly...
over.
Yeah, pretty much all over, and I'm really grateful for all the partnerships I've had locally because I really wouldn't have been able to go to big retail if we didn't have partners like the local Giant Eagles and Sparkle Markets and Larry's Drive-Thru, Ross's Market, and TikTok, and all those places in between that I can talk all day about all of our amazing retail partners. But you just need a chance, and a lot of people aren't given chances, and I don't take the opportunity that I was given lightly, and it's nice to have been able to start from Youngstown and proudly say that this all started here and is still here.
And it's still here. Now, you started a while back with a family, right? This was something you were bred into and born into, and you learned and you grew.
Yes. So just a little background, I guess. I studied winemaking at Cornell University when I was 17 years old and graduated from the program. It's about a 4-year bachelor degree program up where you learn all about wine chemistry, organic chemistry, statistics, all of the stuff in between that really you need to focus.
People don't realize.
Yeah, you don't just drink wine and magically make it happen. It's definitely challenging. I'm more of a creative person, so that's why a lot of people see me doing the marketing and sales. But I've helped with the winemaking a little bit, but now I've really focused on growing the business. But we have a really talented 3 enologist and winemaking team at L'uva Bella, Kenna, Ed, and Garrett. So we all work together.
Nice.
And I'm trying to put it out there. But yeah, I grew up in a very Italian heavy family from Youngstown, of course, and I've been making wine since 5th grade. I don't really know how helpful I was back then. I was like, I'm going to help, and I'm probably more in the way, but it's been something I've been passionate about for a long time, and having just such a great experience with that, I wanted to take it to a career.
Good, and you're doing very well. I've seen your videos at Walmart. I mean, you're doing an amazing job doing the marketing as well. So when you come up on a wine, what do you put in besides your whole heart? But what flavors do you look for when you're creating a wine, or what are you looking to? Do you get like statistics, or do you see what is a trending flavor that maybe you need to grow on, or you want to offer a different type of variety? What goes through your mind when you're creating your flavors?
Sure. I mean, for us, we really try to make wines that make sense. I mean, do we like it? We always pass around samples, and we really make sure that the taste profile is balanced. That's something that's very important when it comes to winemaking. You don't want something to be overly sweet or overly acidic. You want the best of all properties that you're trying to emphasize in the wine. But We really try not to go too heavy into statistics and data. Of course, we'll always look at what's trending and what is working out in the market, but sometimes you have to, have it more of it's more of an art form. You want it to be a little bit of passion, not okay, because we got XYZ statistic for this demographic, we have to make it this way, make it this color. That's just not what feels right for us as a company and me personally. Of course, we're always striving for the best of quality, and that's why we invest very heavily in our talent, and our equipment is the best of the best. But for us, winemaking comes from the heart, not from just a textbook. It's a little bit of both.
So when you are putting your wines together and your flavorings together, and you're like, I think I got this, you try it on the family first?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
I mean, they're going to be the most honest. Oh, this is amazing, or whatever they say. But it's really been something that we've done organically. But of course, we'll put products out there that we're not really sure what's going to happen, but we know it's great, and we put our best foot forward. And we usually enter in a few wine competitions, and if it places really well, we put it out into the retail market, where we actually have a brand new line of wine. That's our premium line right now, called Vino Borealis.
Nice.
It's varietals on the rise to stardom. So 3 out of the 4 wines in the brand are very unique grape varietals that you would not see typically in the market. For example, Chardonnay. It's a cross between Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc. It's very fruit forward, lots of lemon, citrus, but it has a little floralness to it as well. A traminette that almost tastes like flowers that have liquefied but are so fragrant and delicious and very sweet. And then we have my favorite. It's the Chambourcin Rosé. Chambourcin is a red grape, but we lightly pressed it where it has a very vibrant rosé hue, where it's just a grapefruit and watermelon explosion. It's so good. And then we have a Riesling, but I don't want to bore you all with the details. But no, Riesling, everyone knows Riesling. It's a classic fruit forward pear, citrus, green apple moment. But the Vino Borealis is one of our newer wines that Garrett and Ed put so much effort into last season that we're really proud to share with everybody right now.
Very nice. And of course, these are all at L'uva Bella, that they can purchase these as well.
Yes, and the local stores. I know Sparkle Market just put the Vino Borealis wines in their stores, Rulli Brothers and Giant Eagle, and all the amazing other accounts in the area. So mostly the mom and pops we gave the Vino Borealis to, because we want to give our local store something unique that some of the bigger retailers may not carry. So
very nice. Okay, so let me ask you this: you already try it on the family when you're making a new wine flavor. How about to the general public?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have
Tell
to
us what time to be there.
I'm gonna have to come back and drop off samples. You guys have to have it at your little mini bar here.
Oh yeah.
For after hours. So I keep my promises. You will see me roll up and knock on the door with some wine. But hey, you gotta spread the love. That's right.
Thursday, right?
Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday.
I like it.
Yes.
But yeah, we do give out samples, especially at the bistro. If we just bottled something, we'll have it poured throughout the tables that are there if we're open, and we try to get some feedback that way. But really, if we're bottling it, we know it's the best of the best and ready to be enjoyed.
Now, how do you come up with your? I saw the Redhead wine label. Do you design all those yourself?
Oh, geez, no.
No?
I'm not that
Well,
talented. I mean, I help with the creative direction. I explain, okay, I want the color scheme to be red, white, and black. I want it to be simple yet eye-catching. I help with all those details, but we have had some amazing designers. But right now we're working with Abigail Fowler out of New York. She is absolutely amazing, very prompt, professional, always gets it right nearly the first time. I would say 99.9%.
Wow.
And if it's if the 0.01%, it's a suggestion she made that was way better than mine. So she's great. So we have had a really great relationship with her, and Kara Zone of Youngstown. She's done a lot of great work for us as well. If you go to the Pole and Giant Eagle, for example, if you shop and go right into the wine department from the produce section, you'll see one of the big signs she made for us. So there's a lot of work that she's done that we've used very heavily. So
Very nice. So what is a typical day in your life? When you
Well-
get up in the morning till you go to sleep at night?
I usually get up around like maybe 6, try to take my time, enjoy my moment, have my coffee. But it is really different every day. For the last couple of days, I've been at the winery. I'm usually not at the winery every day. I'm working in the market, so I actually live in Cleveland now. So I've been working, developing our markets out there with Superior Beverage. But
Nice.
I've been onboarding our new distributor, Esber Beverage, out of Canton. They distribute our wines to the rest of the state in Toledo, Dayton, Cincinnati,
You're getting out
and
there.
Columbus.
You're
Yes.
getting out. You're growing.
We actually just got our wines placed in Perrysburg today,
Nice.
Port Clinton, and some other areas like Holland, Ohio. So we're really making our reach, and because of Esber, they've really done a really great job the last 2 weeks. So it's a very new relationship. So for
Very
me,
nice.
I'm all over the place. I'm
You are.
traveling, I'm working on spreadsheets, on calls, or working on branding with Abigail and Kara. So it's never the same.
Never a dull moment, huh?
Yes. Or
Oh my
making
gosh.
TikToks. I'm on TikTok now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I've seen some of your videos and they're cute. I mean, you come up with some really, really great ideas and some of the things, that you're doing out in the different Walmarts and stuff like that. So it takes a creative mind to keep going. And one of your quotes that I read a while back, you said that you're very happy as long, you've got the momentum and you're going to be very happy. So where is momentum going to take you, say, within the end of the year? What's some of your goals that you want to see?
Well, it's kind of funny. I've been really thinking about like goals, and it's almost like you're too afraid to verbalize them. It's like scary to even hear what you really want. I feel like you always, at least for me, my personality is always hope for the best, but as long as we're inching towards it, it doesn't have to be exactly what I want. As long as there's progress, kind of tying into the momentum. But the goal is to continue growing our business and being the top in the portfolio at most of our retailers. For example, Walmart, we're actually one of the top 10 items in beer and wine combined, which is very
Nice.
difficult to do. I actually just got data from one of the stores in Cleveland. We're beating Miller Lite 24 packs with one of our wines.
Boom.
Miller Lite, Busch Light, Truly seltzers.
Really? Because
Purple
those
Rain-
are huge right now.
Our
yes.
Purple Rain Concord, people love it. It's easy. It's great quality wine. We get it for about an hour and a half away. We buy the Concord grapes, Northeast Pennsylvania and Westfield, New York. Even we might dabble into like Lawton, Michigan, but we're really trying to source high quality grapes for Purple Rain that's ethically sourced within 5 hours or less at the winery. A lot of these beverages we consume have a lot of freight, which increases the carbon footprint in the world globally. So we're trying our best to do that, and that's why we're able to have such a high quality wine under $10, because we don't have to pay $7,000 to bring a trek over from California. So it's nice, and we're able to really focus on producing the best quality Concord wine because we have a great team and great grapes.
And it's nice. I mean, if you can say this, you're trying to keep it local. You're trying to buy from the local, vineyard. What they call the grape? You don't call them grape yards.
Yeah, vineyards. Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you're trying to keep it local, and we're trying to keep the business local around here too. So it's all about supporting and that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually buy from vineyards that are owned from over 800 families in the United States. So we're supporting a lot of small mom and pop vineyards all the way to people who own 900 acres of land. So it just really depends on the size, but we buy from everybody. So we have a really great relationship with our grape supplier, and it's nice to know that we're contributing to 800 families' livelihood with our partnership.
Nice. Very nice. Now, going forward, do you see yourself branching off and maybe opening up a winery up in the Cleveland area?
Interesting. Definitely not. I think one is enough, but
Really?
I think just buying more warehouse space and more area to produce the wines. Right now, we're out of the Youngstown area in Poland, but we're definitely outgrowing our space. We've had to put our construction a little behind because of COVID-19, but we do have sites on expanding very soon, if not doubling, tripling our manufacturing facility, which will mean really great, high-quality jobs for people in the area. So we're really working diligently to get through harvest, which is right now. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, I got to leave now and get here in a hurry for the interview.
Yeah.
We just got some of our trucks in from California last Friday, and it's just been nonstop. So that's why I've been spending more time over here to make sure everyone's supported.
That is amazing. Now, the restaurant aspect of it, you guys are growing that too. It's absolutely gorgeous inside. If you've not been there, you're really missing out because the place is just beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're actually looking into repainting the place at some point.
When there's time.
Yeah, we're working with B&N Painting, and their local Bobby, who owns the company, came to meet me last week. He gave me this booklet of 3,300 colors. I'm like, wait a minute, you're just going to dump this on me? I'll have to pick one color? So it's going to be a process, but I mean, a simple choice such as picking a color really isn't simple. It really sets the mood. You have to complement, all of our wine racks we have and the tile, and make sure we're, feeling welcoming and warm. So definitely that's going to be not an easy decision, but not only are we trying to give the place a facelift, but we're working really heavily with our chefs and trying to redo the menu a little bit. Of course, we're going to keep the L'uva Bella classics, like the Asiago stuffed gnocchi and the blackened chicken fettuccine alfredo, the fire brick oven pizzas, but I think we're really looking on emphasizing more fresh seafood and incorporating that with our Italian feel, but have a little bit of a Mediterranean influence. So, keep checking us out and seeing what specials we're posting on our website, because we're really trying to focus on that and launch something fairly new here fast.
I was there one New Year's Eve, and the place was absolutely packed, but you guys were turning tables and turning guests over. I mean, it was amazing. It was like it was a science, and you guys had it down pat, and just the food was absolutely amazing. I have to tell you.
Yeah, they do an amazing job. We do everything in the kitchen made to order. What that means is there aren't things that are pre-prepared, like a packaged, steak or like a pre-made pasta with sauce. Like, everything we make is fresh. So the tomato sauce, we cook it down. We add the garlic, the olive oil. We add everything from scratch. The dough for the fire brick oven pizzas, they're made fresh as well. The meatballs are house made. I mean, everything that we can possible is made house made. And if you order something, it's made from scratch, just like your mom would make it. So we really cook with a lot of passion and love in that kitchen.
Now, is there anything from the family that you guys put into recipe-wise, say with the meatballs?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
My grandma Sergi, her meatball recipe is still there. Her sauce recipe, she helped make the pizza dough recipe, because we struggled a little bit when we opened about 10 years ago with having the perfect pizza recipe, because when you have an authentic Italian fire brick oven, you need the dough to be a certain way so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the oven. You have to have the right consistency, the right amount of cornmeal when you coat the bottom, to make sure you could flip it around and twist it. There was a lot of trial and error, so we got it down right, and we haven't changed it.
You haven't changed
since.
a thing, huh?
Yeah.
Now, going forward, do you plan on getting married anytime soon?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Me and my we're pretty much engaged. Like the media outlets we have out there that we're engaged, we are, but not officially. It's complicated. I mean, we're more than
Facebook status. It's complicated.
No, we're definitely more than married, because we own a business together.
Right.
We just purchased L'uva Bella together in May 2020, which was quite the adventure, because it was in the middle of a pandemic. It was scary. But we decided that we believed in our team and ourselves, and we're actually in a growth phase now. We're definitely very grateful, because we just didn't know how it was going to go, but we took the risk, and it's definitely moving in the right direction. I did hear from my sister, and Evan does not have a Facebook. Well, he does, but he doesn't check. I did hear that there is a date set for the official engagement, but I don't know when. So I know it's soon. So I'm just like, I'm waiting. So Y'all will see.
They didn't tell me to say that either.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I'm going to put it publicly on a podcast that's streamed live on Facebook. But, yeah, my sister has been helping. And, you know, to be fully transparent, we would have been engaged a year ago. But we want to put our money into our infrastructure, giving our team the supplies and resources they needed, hiring more people. We hired 5 or 6. I can't even wait. 6 people in the last 2 weeks with great wages. We gave some pay raises as well to team members who really deserve it, and we have more raises on the horizon before the end of the year. So we're really trying to put all of our money into being smart right now, because without our people and our team, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing. So instead of getting in a hurry just to have a ring on my finger, we just didn't care. I mean, I'm excited, but when you
know where you're going, you know what your future holds.
Exactly. And when you own a company, you have to make sure that you're taking care of your people first and not yourself. And that's something that Evan and I believe in until the very end.
That's amazing.
Very important.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
So we've covered your business. We've covered your marriage. That's going to be happening. You guys can let me know later on.
Of course.
Just kidding. No, they did not tell me. Really, they didn't. But when people come to purchase wines and they're pairing with foods, this has always just really stumped me. How do you know which flavors to pair with which foods? Because, you know, you've got your chicken, you've got your meats, you've got your fish. What do you look for when you're pairing to make it just have the ultimate taste effect of the wow?
Sure. It's actually relatively simple. I'm going to make it really easy. The best rules to live by when pairing wine and food. Likes pair well with likes. So let's take a wine varietal Zinfandel that has a lot of fruit forward notes but a light spicy tone to it. That would pair really well with spicy food, because the spiciness of the Zinfandel will cancel out the spiciness of, say, your Cajun cream sauce, okay? So with that, it's called adaptation. They like flavors cancel each other out on your palate, so you're able to taste other underlying flavor components in the meal and the wine. One of my favorite types of like pairings is something very acidic, as well as something with an acidic background, like a tart rosé. So like our Chambourcin rosé would pair really well with any citrus-based salad dressings, vinegar-based foods, anything pickled, squeeze a lemon on seafood. You're able to taste the fruit-forward notes of the rosé, and also have a really great new experience every time you bite into that citrus acidic-based food, because it's cleansing your palate. So especially if you're having something that's really heavy, having that palate cleansing moment with the rosé, or is it a tart Riesling, you're experiencing the meal almost for the first time every bite. It's really interesting.
See, I learned something. How about you?
It blows my mind. You know, like the wine stuff, it's awesome, but I don't fully understand how but you've been doing this since, you said, 5th grade.
Yeah, and I mean, I really didn't take it too seriously until I started working at L'uva Bella when I was about, 16. I started working with the winemaking crew back there, and I took an interest in 2013. That's when I actually officially launched Redhead Wine, October 2013. I redesigned some labels in 2012. They got approved, and then we launched the Redhead. And I really learned that winemaking is interesting to me, but I love the creation and launching of new products. So that's why everyone sees me everywhere, because I visit the stores. I make sure everyone's happy. Do they feel supported? Is there anything we can do to make sure that their customers are having a great experience?
Nice.
I mean, most of my followers have seen that I haven't been in Youngstown a whole lot. We do have another sales rep, as territory manager, Richard Klumpe. So he's doing a lot of the in-person visits to all of our local accounts, which has been super helpful. I just want to make sure that the other areas that we've been able to reach have been taken care of too. And I wish I can clone myself and clone Rich, but I try to be as everywhere as I can, posting about everyone that carries the wine. But
that's great customer service.
It's
Absolutely.
like on rotation.
That is amazing. Now, has COVID, since you just took over in May, and of course it has affected everybody, how are you guys? You're weathering the storm, of course. You're making leaps and bounds, but you said it was kind of scary there for a little while.
I mean, you didn't know how the market was going to go. Are we going to be out of business? Are we going to flourish? What's going to happen? No one knew. But luckily, we were in the spectrum where people were still enjoying alcoholic beverages during the quarantine.
Probably
and that's
more.
all I have to say. So we were able to keep our sales consistent and reach new markets, and if some other company could not fulfill the shelf, we might have gotten another opportunity to grow. So it really worked out for the better that we didn't have to let anyone go. We just hired and grew and supported people that might have had their jobs let go from other companies. So a few of the employees we just hired were laid off because of the pandemic. So we're trying to absorb some of the loss in the community through our growth. So it's great to know that we've been able to hold down the fort, but include more people as well. So it's been great. But I think the biggest challenge you wouldn't necessarily think about is supply chain. We had our main bottle supplier give us 2 truckloads of bottles in Cooper's Hawk Winery boxes. And I think a lot of people who might be listening knows Cooper's Hawk. They're a pretty large winery chain. I think there's maybe 15, 20 locations in the United States. So we couldn't use their boxes. It was totally on accident. We had to get plain white boxes. So our L'uva Bella branded boxes that we've cherished and really put forward in the last 2 years, we had to go backwards and have boring boxes. But hey, it's better to have a box of wine and supplies than no supplies.
No wine at all.
Yeah. I mean, there's national beer shortages because cans are unavailable. So the fact that we have supplies now, regardless if it's our beautiful L'uva Bella branded boxes or plain ones, it's still out there. We're not letting our customers down. We're able to supply them. So that was definitely a little chaotic, but we made it work.
You made it work. Now, has the COVID rules affected you at all? I mean, are you down from your capacity from people that you would normally be able to have in the place as well?
Oh, definitely. It's been really hard because customers want to have parties at our bistro, and we have to have restrictions or only a certain amount of tables, or the 6 foot apart situation. But our bistro staff have been amazing. Everyone's abiding by the rules. Everyone's been super professional. We've gotten great reviews from customers, so thank you everyone for being so positive and supportive at this time, because we try our best to support everyone as possible, but we can't control every situation.
Right.
Evan and I do not micromanage. We want you to come to L'uva Bella if you are part of our team and feel empowered. We trust you. We give you responsibility. And although we can't be at the bistro 24/7 or wherever, we're trying to be there in support and be in the background. So it's been great to see everyone flourish and things do really well at this time. So we're so grateful. We know it's very rare, but it's a testament of our team trusting us as well.
That's awesome, because a lot of companies can't say that. A lot of companies have let people go they haven't hired. So, God bless you guys for doing that. That's
knock
amazing.
on wood.
Yeah, and growing. Now, I wanted to ask you, here's another thing that I seem to get a little confused on. You, of course, are drinking bourbon, so we can't even say this. But the legs on the wine glass, okay, explain to us the importance and what to look for in the legs.
Sure.
Okay.
So the alcohol that is of the component of the legs, because of surface tension, it's a little more dense and viscous. So viscosity is the thickness of liquid. When you swirl the glass, because of surface tension and the viscosity of the alcohol, it sticks to the sides of the glass. So that's where you see the legs coming in. It's the clear alcohol dripping on the side of the glass.
Okay.
The more alcohol you have, the more viscosity the more dense it's going to be, and the more legs you'll see appearing on the side of your glass. So that's really how it works, because when you're swirling, the more dense liquid will be sticking to the sides of the glass, which is the alcohol.
So much science.
See? I told you.
So much science.
I'm not sleeping on my facts.
He is not. That is awesome. Now they also, and I know I'm going to call this, but like an aerator, people put air in the wine. Why do they do that?
Okay, so I'm loving that you asked me this question, because when I was in school, my very, very intelligent wine chemistry professor, Dr. Gavin Sachs, we had an experiment where we used different aeration methods, where you aerate a wine that has been aged for a long time to really let some of the I wouldn't say negative attributes oxidize, to kind of blow off the surface, so you're really letting the wine open up and really breathing and enjoying the other undertones that might be overpowered by some of the other aging characteristics that you wouldn't necessarily want to enjoy in the wine. But even when you're enjoying a red wine that hasn't been aged for a long time and you let it get exposed to oxygen, it does change in flavor over time. But anyway, to get back to your question, aeration does help, especially with the reds. You don't need to aerate whites, but a lot of people spend a lot of money on very expensive aeration methods. You really just need a vase or a aeration vessel that has a large surface area, so more oxygen. The bigger the surface area, the more oxygen will be in contact with the wine. But we use different aeration methods with Gavin, and we used a oxygen meter to see which ones were aerated the most. And the most successful aeration method was putting red wine in a blender.
Really? I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah, you're injecting the air. Huh. So if you have a $10 blender, you'll be the most successful aerating your wine. But I don't suggest that with everything. But, it's not a very romantic way of doing it. But if you're in a hurry and you want to speed up the process,
the blender on.
Hey, it's scientifically speaking, that's what's best. You don't need to spend $300 on a fancy schmancy aeration situation. I won't.
No,
you
not
shouldn't
at this
either.
time. No, but that. Who would have ever?
Yeah. Hey, can I jump in and ask a question?
You
real
go
quick?
right ahead.
Hey, I'm curious. Why are certain years better than others?
Is
it for like temperature, or I'm just curious.
It's a little bit of everything. So there's something called growing degree days. It's pretty much how long the grapes have had contact with the sun, pretty much how many days of the year do you typically have sun. That really emphasizes quality, because is there a comment? Oh, okay.
Dr. Mike.
Hi, Dr. Mike. I love you. I hope everything's great. Robbie Kale said, how much is Prince
making of that purple wine?
You know what's really funny? We have the trademark for Purple Rain in the food and beverage sector under wine. So Prince did not trademark Purple Rain in food and beverage. So no other winery in the country except us could have the name Purple Rain. So just putting that out there, it is legal, okay? But going back to the vintage, so pretty much optimal conditions to have the grape varietals ripen to what the industry expects them to be traditionally. For example, Pinot Noirs are typically very smooth, velvety, fruit forward, not a lot of acidity, just a little bit, not harsh at all on the palate. But if you don't have optimal conditions where you could have the flavor characteristics ripen properly, or the seeds to ripen properly, you're not going to have the structure to be able to have the wine be enjoyed to what we as a consumer expect, or have it aged properly. Tannins are from the seeds and the skins. You'll hear tannins a lot in like wine conversations. You need the tannins to age red wine. Red wine, the color is called anthocyanin. Just pretend it's like my hand, okay? Anthocyanin, tannins. Over time, as they age, if there are enough tannins to bind with the anthocyanins, which is the color. They bind together like a puzzle piece over time to be structurally stable for aging long periods of time. That's why whites don't age very well. There isn't much color pigment, and there aren't any tannins in white wine. There aren't a lot, because when you press, you're extracting from like the berries and the clusters to press out the liquid. You don't want to press too hard for white wines because you don't want to extract tannin from the seeds, because if you crush the seeds, the tannins will be extracted most heavily, and you'll have that structure that's kind of harsh and bitter. But for reds, you want that pressure within a certain realm, I guess. You don't want too much pressure, but you want enough to extract the tannins that you would like, so you could have the structure to age over time. So that's why you have great vintages, great years, optimal conditions to make the optimal situation for the flavor profile and the aging over time. I know that was a lot.
5-minute test.
I don't think I'm going to pass.
I'm trying my best.
Well, I always thought, I love Pinot Noir. That's probably my favorite wine. But, I always thought tannin, that's probably why my face turns red when I drink wine. That's what I always heard.
It's just alcohol. You're just having a good time.
Tannin in the sun. But no, and you, here's the thing, too. I mean, you serve red wine at room temperature or pretty close to it, right? Is there a certain degree that you're not really wanting to serve it, or do you cool it down any if it's a little bit warmer than it should be?
Here's the thing.
Optimum.
I'm pretty untraditional. If you like red wine chilled, you do you. I don't care. If you like wine a certain way, who am I going to tell you? You know what I mean?
Right.
I enjoy my reds at room temperature. That's my preference.
Yeah.
But if I'm having a delicious sangria, I'm going to chill it. I'm going to have, delicious fruit juices in there, fresh fruit. I'm going to have it on ice, whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's people watching ice.
Yeah.
It's sangria, okay? It's already juice. It's all good.
Have you heard of the 5-minute rule? Where you take out the whites 5 minutes before you're about to drink it and put in the reds 5 minutes before you're going to drink it?
Honestly, I have not, but
I've heard other wine people say that that's a suggestion for, the way you want to drink it.
If that's what they think is best, go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, if that's what you like, do it.
Right.
I mean, I've never heard of it. Maybe I'm going to try it just for fun, but
I could be making that up. I don't know. I swear I've heard that somewhere.
Hey, whatever works. I'm one to encourage people to enjoy any wine any way they want, as long as they're happy with it. So,
So coming into the fall season, which everybody loves wineries this time of year. This is what we do, especially in northeastern Ohio. What events and plans do you have coming up?
So, really, unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of events going on because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
We actually had to restructure our whole process this year. We sell fresh winemaking juice to the home winemaker. So if you came to L'uva Bella and said, hey, I want to make 50 gallons of Cabernet Sauvignon in my basement, we will sell you the fresh California juice or Italian juices in 6-gallon buckets, 56-gallon drums, or 265-gallon totes, just depending on what you want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we have everything scheduled, so you would have to order ahead, prepay, and then you have a pickup slot. So it's all curbside service. We don't want to put our customers at risk or our employees. It's a quick transaction where we load your vehicle, you park, and you drive off into the sunset. So
or into the wine set.
Oh yeah.
Into the wine set. Now, do you guys, or normally would you guys put on classes as to how to make wine? Do you do that as well?
Yes, we have. I think our last class was the last couple weeks, but we've had classes before. We do have frequently asked questions on our luvabella.com website. If you do need help, you can email or call us. We try to be as available as possible, but during season, sometimes it's hard to get in touch. But we definitely suggest emailing us any of your wine making questions, wine@luvabella.com. Within a day or so, we will get you some answers. So.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so you're gonna make us some wine, aren't you? You're gonna stomp on like.
I don't know if I have her scientific expertise to to make the quality that you guys
Hey, you
do.
learn from experience. I had to start somewhere too.
This is true.
So I know it sounds like super complicated, but once you kind of get involved and you learn little by little, you're like, oh, that's obvious.
Yeah.
How do you not know that?
Sure,
so
sure.
it's just a lot at first, but you kind of get the swing of things. So
Okay.
Now I have to ask you, because wines have some of the most different names and pronunciating these names, because God knows I don't pronounce
Oh,
it
yeah.
very
No,
well.
I know.
Pronunciating. Where do you guys come up with the names? How do you come up with them?
like the grape varietals or like brands?
Okay, because I'm like, some off the wall names and on these some of these wines, it's like, who thought of that?
Yeah.
Like Freddie does his rum.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of an odd name of a brand I've come by, and I kind of am drawing a blank, but for great varietals could be, unique, like I said, Chamberson, Traminette. There's a varietal called Diamond, but they're all over the place. It's more scientists that made the grape varietal at a university or just dating back many centuries. Just depends, but I don't come up with the great varietal names, but the brand names, like our new Vino Borealis wine, we came up just try to be creative and kind of twist the Borealis situation, like wines on the rise to stardom.
Sure.
So it takes a while to kind of figure it out and what makes sense, but it's a fun process.
Does Evan help with that process too?
He stays out of it. He's a analytical numbers person. I'm the creative, fun. He's fun too, just for the record. But I'm more creative, and our winemaking team is very creative and artistic, and Evan is the
He's fun.
workforce.
He's the
Yeah.
fun workforce.
No, he's great. No, he has a lot of great ideas.
That's great.
Came up with some really great marketing ideas as well. So I can't say that he's not full of the great creativity, but it's mostly myself and the team.
Now here's probably one last question, and help me along with this. When you're going and you're making a new type of flavor, a new type of wine, and you're going to these different places to try and taste test the grapes, do you already have a flavor in mind that you're looking for, or do you just get the grapes in and what can we do with this? What's the process of creating a new flavor and then finding the grapes to produce that flavor for you?
Sure. I mean, I could answer this in a million ways. I think I'll just kind of give you a peek into a few of the paths we take. Either we hear it's a great crop. For example, we brought in that Chamberson last year for Vino Borealis. It was a great crop last year, and we turned into a rosé because it had a lot of bright acidity with fruit-forward notes. But and we just make it in a traditional or untraditional way that we feel suits the ripeness of the grapes that we brought in. Or if it's something totally new, which we're working on now, is sangria. Sneak peek, we are working on a Purple Rain sangria.
There
I
you
think
go,
this is
Robbie.
I think this is the first time I am putting this out in the public, so
Uh-oh. And
definitely
it's
share
here.
this link to spread the word. Purple Rain Sangria, we're really working on a balance of fruit flavors that work for the profile, what we feel tastes best. We had some groups that we've hired to taste the recipe we came together with,
We're gonna do
and,
that.
and
Do
ranked
you
it.
get
I'll
paid
have
to
to,
do this?
I'll have to drop off some samples. We have some that we've been shipping out all over the country to get some feedback on. So I love it. It's fantastic. I'm very, very excited to see when we're going to launch it. We're hoping first quarter of 2021.
Nice.
Don't hold me
Don't
to
hold
it,
her.
okay?
Don't hold her to
But
that.
it's really just trial and error, seeing what works, what yeast ferments the grapes to our liking to fit the profile we want, or when are we going to balance it with the right acidity and sweetness, or is it more peach, is it more strawberry? There's a lot. It's like baking a cake. Sometimes it's a little too baked, and sometimes it's just right. So it's sincerely just like that.
Wow, I have learned a lot.
Totally.
I've learned more
Yeah.
than you have today.
Oh my God,
And that's saying
this
something.
I'm still blown away by the science of it all. I think
like
it's
the blender.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think I might try the blender.
I'm sure you
yeah,
will.
I might try the blender.
We'll have to get our other winemaker, Garrett, on the show.
Yeah.
He has a master's in winemaking from Washington State University.
Ooh.
I think he'll just blow you away with his knowledge. So
Pacific Northwest, he'd know his stuff. For
Oh,
sure.
he knows his stuff.
It does blow me away to think how you guys come up with all these different tastings and all these different, and one wine is not like another. I mean, it's just everything keeps changing and evolving.
Do you have one of your wines that stands out as your favorite?
Oh man. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Gonna ask.
I'll have to give you my top 3 right now.
Okay.
I can't choose one. Maybe 3.5. Okay, we'll see. I love my Redhead Red Blend. It's definitely my go-to all the time. The Chamberson Rosé I've been raving about under our Vino Borealis line is amazing. It's very fruit-forward. Grapefruit, watermelon explosion, fantastic for the hot weather we've been experiencing. We have an amazing Montepulciano from 2015 that we aged in French and American oak. Great to use an aerator on.
There you go.
Or aerate.
Blender.
Oh my god. Or, of course, our Purple Rain if you want to have a good time with your friends. So
Okay.
that one you could chill
There you go.
with no judgment.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds great.
So I had a question and she had got me laughing and I couldn't think what to
Sorry.
That's okay. I had a really good question though. Okay, physical address if nobody's ever been to L'uva Bella,
Okay.
where can we find you besides Facebook?
Sure. So it's at 6597 Center Road, Lowville, Ohio. If you're going past the Poland Giant Eagle, going towards the PA line, you'll find us on the right-hand side, right before you hit PA. It's by the new Morgan Oil gas station. It's just like kind of close around the corner. But you can find more information at www.luvabella.com or just Google Marisa from Redhead and you can find me and ask me all the questions you need and we'll go from there. So.
And what's the hours that you guys are open?
Oh yeah, so our bistro just extended for lunch, so
Nice.
you could come for lunch Thursday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. And you can make an RSVP via Open Table if you don't want to physically call.
So they'll find you on the Facebook page.
Yep.
And they can make a reservation. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like
Very
that.
cool.
We have to come down and see you.
Would love to have you guys. Just
Yes.
let me know.
We-
Make sure you guys get a table, so.
Those Youngstown studio people.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
We'll never forget us.
We would love to have you.
Joe, we've left you out of the whole conversation. Is there
I'm
anything
good,
you needed to
dude.
ask? No? All right. Well, this was so exciting having you on here. Thank you so much. And again, your story, and you can see it on the internet, your story from where you started out, where you are now.
Thank you.
It's just an amazing story.
I appreciate it.
And good luck to you, even though you don't need it. You are on the rise to stardom, let me tell you. Girl. Good for you.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
It means a lot. Again, it's a testament to the team and everyone that's been helping. I mean, I had to start somewhere and I've learned a lot and it's something that I enjoy doing every day. So much gratitude.
Yes, and thank you again, like I said, for coming on the show, sharing your experiences, sharing your knowledge. I hope we've educated a lot of people out there.
I hope so.
And of course, if they have questions, they can, by all means, get a hold of you on Facebook as
They're
well.
100%.
Yeah, and please stop in and,
I owe you guys some wine. I have not forgotten and will not forget.
please support this winery. They're amazing people, and you're an amazing.
Thank
Your
you.
sister too, amazing family.
So, love her. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in with another segment of Let's Talk. We'll have more coming up this Thursday.